Hi folks, and welcome to a second radical guide of the season, and we're at old Silverstone because of this is the legacy one, so it's a free one that you get with iRacing and the standard membership, which is quite nice. But it is the old layout, and mighty fun, and it is nice to come back to these old tracks because this is the Silverstone that I kind of grew up watching with F1 and things like that, and played the F1 games. And the new layout is still very good, but it's nice to go back to the old one. Anywho, enough waffling, we're going to the info tab for you. We're using the identical setup to Silverstone, which is the fixed iRacing setup that will be used. Track usage 40%, moderate usage. If it's high, you should have more grip. Low is less grip. And in track temp is 82 Fahrenheit degrees will be above my head. Generally, the hotter the track temp, the less grippy it is. The cooler is more grippy. Lap I'm actually going to show you is lap 6. So we're quite early on. Be very careful on the first few laps. This thing is like ice. A few of the Maggots and Beckett's corners, be easy on that throttle when you're coming out of them, basically. But yeah, when the tire's nice and warm, you should be getting down to the 41s dead. Did one there, and I did one there. Probably nip into the 40s flat, but I'd rather show you a nice, clean, steady lap with maybe a mistake or two in there. We like putting mistakes in, because then you don't make them. Above my head will be two screens. One will be my Discord, where the OLAP, BLAP, telemetry, and replay file, so you can see exactly how I've done and how I've done it. Also on there is a little Google Doc, so you can see what track guides I'm planning to do, and I put them in season order as well. So if you are following a season that I've covered on a track guide, you can see what is coming up and what track guide I have done to help you out. And the other screen is how I get into these sessions, so these are pre-recorded. So if you do want to practice before the live week goes live, hey, live week goes live, you can do. Use the iRacing UI, and you can go to schedule and do it on there like that. Lovely jubbly. Otherwise, don't forget to like and subscribe and do that lovely YouTube stuff. Otherwise, let's crack on with it. Right then, old Silverstone, and we are at turn 1, which is quite interesting. Prepare for a lot of people to go wide here. So at the little sign that says 50, just before it, we want to start braking gradually and then turn in. 4th or 5th, you get around there depending on what you want, but be careful of the understeer on exit, and particularly on the first few laps on cold tyres. You can use all of that curb, but don't use the AstroTurf on the left-hand side because it will be an off-track. Coming up to Maggots and Beckett's, lovely complex corners this, so you want to compromise this left-hander. Stay left as far as you can to really open this one. Have a lift, because I find it's easier to take this next left-hander here. So at the end of the curbing, just as we see it, we're going to start easing off the brakes and stay all the way on this left-hand side curve here. Come off it with a bit of a bump and then stay left. And then you're turning right again. Make sure you get this one correct. So all you're doing is compromising all of them to make sure you get a full throttle exit about here. I use all of the track and a tiny little bit of curb there. If you do run wide, there is a slowdown. So just be mindful of that. Down the hanger straight now, and we're basically spotting our braking zone, which is very awkward on the old layout because there is nothing around. On the new one, you've got some concrete and some curbing on the left-hand side, but the Marshall post thingy, that's probably the best one I can think. As just as you go past it, brake, nice stab of brakes, let the car slide into the corner quite well. Drag the brake all the way through if you need to, but you can touch that curb, but don't worry about it too much. Just be mindful of the curb here on the exit on the left-hand side. There is no tarmac, so if you do hit the grass, you will be spinning as well. There is a white line which is conveniently there, so just as we cross over it, we want to start braking in a lovely straight line. Do not use first gear around here, you will face the other way. Second gear, cut the corner nicely, and all you're trying to do is get on full throttle as much as you can to lift off again for this tightening. Well, it's tight at first, and then it really does open up. But it's like ice round here, so you can see me balancing the throttle, and then at a point I know that I can do full throttle. So don't try and run too far wide until you're out the corner exit like this. So be careful of the grass on the left-hand side because there is an off-track out there. Really awkward corner. You can spin if you do get on throttle too early. Just at the service road, just as we pass it, we want to start braking again, really heavy in a straight line, second gear. You can cut this one quite well, and as soon as you're done with it, get on full throttle as soon as you can, really benefit. You can cut that corner quite a lot, so don't worry about it, but just mindful of the exit again. It is quite narrow with that wall. Under the bridge, this corner is absolutely flat out. Be mindful on cold tyres, and then as we see this extra little bit of track, we're going to brake into the extra little bit of track, and then have a nice sweeping left-hander here. Really do enjoy this corner. Get on power as soon as you can. Don't run too far wide, because there's gravel and all sorts there. And then straight away, when that curve ends, we've got a brake again. You see I do miss it quite a lot. It is so easy to lock a brake in here and have a spin, but try and get as close to that apex as you can. But don't worry about it too much because this is the important corner to get right. So nice wide entry around here. You just tickle in the brake and the throttle. Try and bring it back for a late apex, but I'm eagerly, you can see my throttle trace out. I'm trying to get on throttle as soon as I can. I get on too early, but at this point I know I'm going to be safe. Little bit of snap oversteer there with the power. Use all of the curb on the left-hand side, and that is us. Coming across the line, don't cut them back. There's a slowdown there, really, really awkward. On the new layout, there isn't. On this, there is, so don't cut where them cones are. But that's us across the line in a 1:41.036. So yeah, good to come to the old circuit every now and then, and yeah, remember what it was used to be like. I think I do prefer the new layout, to be honest. But yeah, it's always nice to come back here, and yeah, just be mindful of the slowdowns that I mentioned. Otherwise, have a very good week, and yeah, we'll catch you on the next one.